We welcome everybody here tonight. This is a, a wonderful evening. We're so pleased to have you here. This is an event that is sponsored every third Thursday of the month. It's co-sponsored by the Storytellers of San Diego and our good friends at Twisted Horn Mead and Cider. That wonderful drinking hall that has sponsored for a couple of years storytelling, live storytelling, while there's a chance to gather in the beautiful hall. It's not possible to gather there now, although the Twisted Horn is available to order things online or for pickup or delivery. So please continue to support our local businesses, and especially Twisted Horn is such a blessed place for us. So we're so thankful, and we will continue to support them through this time. I want to tell you a moment. We have Celtic stories tonight, and a gathering of some wonderful storytellers who have in their heart of hearts a love for Celtic stories. But someone was just asking me, so, okay, what does that mean again? If it's Celtic stories, where is that from? Well, Celts is a term that refers to people both that thrived in ancient times, but also in modern times now. Celts were a group of tribal societies in ancient Europe, and they spoke Celtic languages. And present day Celts live in Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and some parts of England and of France. There are a lot of people who have kept the fires of Celtic stories going. And there are many types of Celtic stories, and we're going to share some of those with you tonight. Some Celtic stories are old myths. Some are kind of medieval legends and things going on. And some might be folk tales that are told in more modern times. So I'm going to start you off with a very popular, well, some say it's a folk tale and some say it's true, a story that comes to us from Wales. Well, they say in the year 1205, Prince Llewellyn was given a wonderful gift by his father, actually his father-in-law, King John. He was given a magnificent dog. It wasn't any old dog. It was a fabulous greyhound named Gellert. And this dog, he was shiny, he was strong, he was courageous, and he was an amazing hunting dog. So every time when the prince went out hunting, he would call, he would blow his trumpet and call his dogs, which was always led in the front by Gellert. Well, this particular day, he was ready to go hunt, and all the dogs came. They were charging, they were up and down, they were excited. It was time for the hunt. But no Gellert. He's like, Gellert, where, Gellert? Nothing. Well, this had never happened again. And he was frustrated. So he said, well, that's fine. He needn't stay, come along with me. He can just be home. And so he went off. But it wasn't nearly as fun hunting without Gellert. It wasn't nearly as satisfying, and they didn't do so well. So he came home in kind of a bad mood. But as he came in, he was met immediately at the door by Gellert. And he said, well, there you are, boy. But he looked, and something was wrong with Gellert. He looked bedraggled, and he had, could it be blood dripping from his teeth around his mouth? He said, Gellert, what has happened? What has gone on? And then suddenly the prince was worried. He thought, wait a second. Well, I don't know what's happened here, but where's my son? And he had a small son who was sleeping when he left about going on, and he went running and looking, and he called and he couldn't find his son. But there by his royal cradle, there was even more blood, and the blankets were ripped off, and it's going on. And suddenly, oh, the prince, he was shocked. He was like, and then he thought, what have you done, you evil monster? Here I trusted you with my very own son. And he went over and he grabbed that dog by the scruff of his neck and he pulled out his sword and he looked at him and he stabbed him right in the heart. Gellert looked up to him in shock and surprise, and then he let out, oh, a mighty howl. Well, it was a mighty howl and loud enough that suddenly the prince turned because he heard, wait, there's a sound. And underneath the overturned cradle was the little boy. Ah! He had been napping, he was sleeping, and he went over and he picked him up and he was fine, he was safe. But right next to that boy was the bloody, gaunt corpse of a wolf laying there with its throat torn out. And suddenly the prince realized, oh no, rather than attacking his little baby, he had saved his life. And he was so heartbroken. He was a happy father and a very sad prince. They say he picked up that dog and he brought him out and he dug a special grave and he put a large cairn right there. And they said he was so sad that he never, ever smiled again. And as people came, they would look and they would see that cairn of stones and say, what is that there? And everyone would reply, oh, that is Beth Gellert, the grave of Gellert. And they say, if you go in Wales to the town of Snowdon, even today, you might see that very grave. The story of the dog Gellert. Thank you very much. Thank you.